Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry, all going to the Brooklyn Nets. Celtics get 3 number ones, 2014, 2016, 2018. Humphreys, Wallace, Evans, just a bunch of stuff. Clearly the Celtics are tanking. They're redeveloping for the future. What's your first overall assessment of this deal when you hear it?
Well, first and foremost, clearly the players coming back completely irrelevant. None of those guys that they got back, Chris Humphreys, Wallace, Bogans, any of those guys play into the Celtics' future plans. It's all about the picks. It's all about sending really Pierce and Garnett somewhere because neither one of those guys wanted to be in any sort of rebuilding mode.
Right.
They get an opportunity now to go play for a team that can contend. This is all about Boston basically going to the bottom to start over again, which makes me think maybe Rajon Rondo's next. Is Rajon Rondo really going to be around to play with this group of guys? Is he going to want to buy into that in any way, shape, or form? Coming back from an ACL injury, he's still a young player. He'll be old by the time the Celtics are good again with this strategy. So he might be the next guy to go. I mean, obviously, Boston is just gutting this. And it's amazing because you think they're trading these guys to a team in the same division.
Yeah, right.
That shows you right there where Boston's mindset is. They don't even consider themselves a team that's even, close to the Brooklyn Nets. And now they go on, and I think Brooklyn, with this move, Brooklyn might be the team now you look at and say, hey, maybe they leapfrog Indiana and Chicago. Maybe they're now the second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Well, they got the 5 with Lopez, so KG's not the biggest guy there. Darren Williams, of course, as well. And then you have Pierce, Garnett, and Terry. You see what the Celtics will get. Again, next year's draft is very strong. Celtics looking to clear space for the salary cap, putting themselves in a position, if that's possible, and again, get picks for the future as they look to reload this team. And you mentioned Rondo is the interesting factor now. What will they do with him? Will they build around him and convince him of that? Or will they now look to move him and really look to, let's face it, tank next year and get as high a pick as possible?
I think they're going to try to move him. I mean, when you look at Rajon Rondo, he's not the kind of guy to me that you build a team around.
Why not?
Because typically a point guard that you say that about is a guy like a Russell Westbrook or a Derrick Rose or a Darren Williams that can go and get you 20 to 25 also. If he's going to be the main franchise player, Rajon Rondo is a guy that makes everybody else look better. So I think he needs talent around him to really flourish. And right now there isn't any left. So it's hard for me to envision him really being in their long-term plans with where they're going to go right now. And he has tremendous value. So they can go out there and get a young player if they want to do that, and a pick probably for a guy like Rondo, one of the top 5 point guards in the NBA. I know he's coming back from an ACL injury, but he still has that kind of value on the open market.
Kevin Garnett, super strong personality, one of the strongest in NBA history. Jason Kidd, first-year coach. Any possibility that's not necessarily the greatest mix in year one of Jason Kidd's coaching career?
I don't think that will be a problem at all. In fact, Kevin Garnett coming into your team and walking into your locker room, the difference that makes immediately, just from a standpoint of the leadership, the winning. This is one of the greatest defensive communicators in the history of this league. And even though he's not the Kevin Garnett of 4 or 5 years ago, neither is Paul Pierce. Both of those guys on the downside of their careers. But Paul Pierce is a money player. He's a guy that's a pro. He's going to come in immediately and give you a go-to type guy in certain situations down the stretch of games. And then Garnett, what he does to transform your defense now into a team that you're going to see this team immediately overnight be a much better defensive team. And now you've got a Darren Williams and a Brook Lopez to go with those guys. First-year coach Jason Kidd, a lot of pressure now because there's going to be high expectations, and this is your first time doing this. It's a very interesting dynamic of what's going on in Brooklyn right now.